Fellas, we have another massive lock from Bill Croft. There's no marking anywhere on the body, top, front, sides, but it's not very heavy. And by comparison, this is a master lock number 3. So you can see just how large this thing is. It's not very heavy though, because this is cast aluminum. No marking except when we turn it over on the bottom. It does have some marking. Now, I don't know how many of you guys speak Russian, but let's transliterate this. That first character, when we look at it in Latin, is a TS. So we have a TS7, and then the P is actually an R. So TS7R00, and Ks are actually Ks. So TS7R00K. Now, I've translated it, but do I know what it means? No. I don't know if that's the model, and I don't know if that's the key number. I have absolutely no clue. But here's what the key looks like. It does have a pretty challenging keyway. It looks like we've got to go around a very sharp corner, so it is paracentric. So you got to give it a little bit of credit. It's also very, very old. And having been to Russia, having known Russians, worked with them, I once was in a bar with a guy who was a Russian guy who had seen someone drinking a glass of milk, and he goes, "So you like milk?" "Yes, in Russia we invent milk." So I know that the tolerance on these older things are probably not so tight. "You like microchips?" "Yes, in Russia we invent microchips. We make the largest microchips in the world." Also locks. So let's give this one a shot. What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to rake it. I've got two choices here. These are both from Sparrows. I would like to use the triple peak, because that really works well in a lot of locks. But the problem with the triple peak is that the profile is just a little bit tall, it looks like to me, to go inside of here without oversetting everything. Luckily, the triple peak has a little brother, and they call this the worm. And on shorter profile locks, this works really well. It looks a lot like the triple peak, except all the edges are kind of rounded off. I'm getting it to focus here. So on the bottom we got the worm, and all the edges, the sharp edges are kind of rounded off, and it's a shorter profile. So we can sometimes get it in these older locks that have these paracentric keyways. So enough talking, Bill. Let's try to get this thing open. Get up a little bit. Try to zoom in just a hair. Alright, a little bit of tension. Let's see if we can first rake our way into this whole lock, because again, the tolerances are probably not so good. And there we go, I said, but it did turn. We have about, oh, not quite a quarter turn there. Maybe it's just, I'll bet, typical Russian engineering, I will bet $1 to a donut that they open it opposite, so, of everybody else in the world. So let's try that again. Again, I'm going to go in with a worm, slight tension, and just try to rake it. And that was it. It's opposite of everybody else in the world. So I got to back up about 5 feet here to get this thing into frame. Alright, so it does open with a rake. Let me relock it. Let me back this thing up as far as I can get it from the camera. Believe me, this thing is about, let me unzoom it a bit. There we go. Alright, so let's try that. We don't know it opens backwards, so let's go ahead and tension it backwards this time. It is still locked. Let's try, this is a 15 thousandths. I'm going to put it in backwards, so we know we can rake it. Let's see if we can rock this thing open. So put the pick in upside down, put it all the way to the rear, apply a little bit of tension, and then just start rocking away. And wow, too fast. Alright guys, if you come across one of these TS7R00Ks, don't waste your time picking it, because you can rake it open just as fast as you just saw. Anyway, thanks for your time. Everybody stay safe, stay legal, and Bill Croft, sir, thank you. I have never seen a lock like this before, and probably never will again. I can't imagine how rare this is. I tried looking it up on the internet, and I have never seen it before. No pictures anywhere. Anyway, thanks a lot.